I'm Pastor Steve, and I'd like to talk to you for just a few minutes about conflict, specifically how to help a person who is in conflict. There are three words that I want you to hold on to anytime you're approaching a conflict situation, talking to a person in a conflict situation. If you yourself are in a conflict, three words: validate, liberate, empower. Validate. It's very easy for me to minimize whatever the conflict is that you happen to be in. My conflicts are a whole different story. If I'm in a conflict, I'm in a conflict, and I'm going to have to deal with that conflict, and I'm just going to have to push through it and bang through it and bop and biff and bath all through my conflict. If you're in a conflict, I can sit out here and say, calm down, it'll be okay. It's worth remembering that the scriptures, the Judeo-Christian scriptures, are all about conflict. From the story of Cain and Abel through the end of the book of Revelation, it's born of conflict, it developed in conflict, and it's been used, if you think about it, in conflict situations for centuries to rally the troops and to get people up and going and fighting and smiting and smiting. And the point of it all is shalom. The point of it all is finding peace. The point of it all is transcending or rising above or moving beyond the conflict. So the first thing we must do in any conversation with a person in conflict is validate. Validate you are where you are. You're feeling what you're feeling. You are in that situation, and you need to be validated. You need to understand that, if I was where you are, I would probably feel exactly the way you feel. If I was in your situation, I would feel the same emotions you are feeling. And so you validate it. You have to help people understand that this is the reality. This is the situation. Validate. Second word is liberate. Now, once again, if you study the scriptures will teach you about liberation. It's all about being set free. Jesus said in the Gospel of John, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Freedom is rising above the circumstances. In other words, you're in a conflict, and I hear you. I feel what you're feeling. I get it. You're in a conflict, okay? But that conflict does not need to define your existence. It does not need to constrict your situation and dictate your actions. You see, when your actions are dictated or forced upon you, that is not liberation. So the key is to try as hard as you can to rise above those circumstances. So we validate, we liberate, empower. the whole history of conflict, if you look at it, pick any conflict you want, any war you want, any conflict between two individuals that you want to look at, it's always about power and who has it. Okay? They have the power and they are forcing their will upon me, and because I lack that power, I have anger, I have upset, I need to balance the scales. It's all about power. In the United States of America today, we have a gun plague. Everybody alarm themselves. And that little bit, and I'm not going to get into that debate, but just to say that if you just think about it, the gun is a symbol of empowerment. The idea, at least, that's being shopped around is, well, that'll empower you. Well, that's not always the power that we need. Power comes from within. Power comes from our heart, from our soul, that we are able to rise above our circumstances, to move beyond our circumstances. The greatest power is the power to turn away from the conflict and simply say, Shalom, peace. It's okay. We're just going to move away from that conflict. We're not going to delve into that conflict. We're not going to get into that thing that causes all the upset. And so that is empowerment. And I would really encourage you to find power, to find strength. Take a look at the history, take a look at the ancient texts, the mythology, the stories, the fables, the whole picture of all that humanity has been through. And as you educate yourself on that background, you begin to be able to see things from a little bit deeper perspective. And that perspective is empowering, because ultimately you are the one who decides what to think. You are the one who decides what to do, and you are empowered to live your life to the fullest and to enjoy the grace and goodness that surrounds you. Thank you so much for listening. If you can share this video, if you can give it a little thumbs up, give it a little heart, and get the word out about PastorSteve.faith. We're just trying to communicate a basic, practical message that will help people not to be all sinking down in conflict. Thank you so much for watching.